Hey fellas, welcome back. Friends, we have checked the form overview and we have checked it in the last lecture. And in here we have this very simple form in which we have made use of couple of form elements. Friends, if you guys would like to know more about these HTML elements, then I suggest you guys to go ahead and Google. There are plenty of tutorials available on HTML which are obviously free of cost, and learn more about these HTML elements. We will definitely use couple of HTML elements which are widely used in fact. So these are couple of widely used HTML elements. We won't be making use of this particular form. We will make use of a similar form which we will code from the scratch to make things understandable. So let us create a new HTML file and it would be sample form2.html. So let's get started. We will give the title of the web page as sample form, and inside the body we will have the form. Here we go. And the action would be submit.jsp. So we would be submitting this particular form to submit.jsp. Let us define the method. So in method we can define either get or post. So to start with, let us take it as get, and we would be able to see the form submission on the URL. The information would be visible to us. In here, first input field was full name, so it would be input type equals text. The name would be name, and friends, this name attribute is really important because this is the identifier of the field when we submit the form. So this is important, and I always follow the camel case. This would be a self-contained tag, input tag. Then we have gender, so it would be like gender, and it would be a radio button, so it would be like input type equals. Now the type of the radio button is radio, and the name would be gender, and it would be inside double quotes, and we need to also give the value, and this value is important. And why it is important? Because when we would be submitting this particular form, the value of this value field would be the key factor of reading this radio button. The importance of the value would be understood by us by the end of this lecture. The value would be male, and we will end this tag. Now friends, in here we also can do this thing. Normally this is optional but recommended. We can mark this particular field as label. Now why this is important? This is important for SEO. This has a effect on search engine optimization. Well, in this particular tutorial we won't be worried about these labels or anything else. This is just an informative thing. Let us get rid of the label, and let me copy this line and paste it once again in here. The value will change to female, and it would be again female. And if we would like to make any of these radio button checked by default, then we can mark this as checked. So let us code for known languages known, and it would be input type equals checkbox, and name would be language. And again in here value is important. Value would be English. Let me copy this and paste it couple of times. Then we have this drop down in here, and let us code for it. Then for drop down of country we would require the select tag, and inside select we would have options. These options will build the drop down list. Again, for these options value is important because value will tell us that what value was selected. So first would be India, then we will type in the label and then option. And let me pause this video and add the rest of the options. So we have built the drop down list as well, and finally we would require a submit button. So it would be input type equals submit, and value is again important in here because value would be the label of the button. And finally we need to add couple of BR tags in order to make things more readable. I suppose everything looks fine. Let us execute the program. Here we go. So the form is exactly the same as we have expected. Now let us code submit.jsp real quick, and for doing so we will create a submit.jsp file under web content folder. Here we go. And under this particular submit.jsp we will simply displaying the value. So we will type in full name colon, and we will obviously make use of JSP expression request dot get parameter. And what is the parameter? The parameter is the name. So in here we will type in name, all smaller case. Second element is gender. So what gender the user has selected? Again we would be making use of JSP expression request dot get parameter, and in here gender. Likewise we will add more fields. So here we go, everything is being read, and let us quickly add BR tags in between. And now let us execute this particular form. Name is Chand and gender is male. I know English and Hindi, and country India. Let us make it as English only, and let me submit this particular form. Here we go. So the output is full name Chand, gender male, language known English, and country India, which is perfect. So this is very easy, and let me show you a couple of more things. In here if I skip this particular value and re-execute the form, there won't be any effect on the form. But if I submit this form and select English and then click on submit button, then there would be some issue, right? So this will simply show me on, but on for which particular language? There won't be any language. So this is the reason why this value in here is important. So let me undo the change. Likewise, it is important to have this value field for radio button, for drop down. In fact, there are couple of more elements in HTML, and I urge you guys to check these elements and try to check the tutorials related to it for more information. And one more small little thing. For example, we have this particular form and we checkmark multiple languages, for example, then only the first language which is checked would be on our output page. And the reason is because the handling of these kind of situation is little different, and we will also check how to handle these kind of situation in upcoming videos. In fact, we would have a couple of projects in this particular course, and we will definitely check on that. And let us quickly also check what happens if we make this as post. If we make this method as post and then execute the program and submit the form, then the only difference which we will find is that the URL for the JSP page would be super simple. Let me submit the page in here. So in here there is nothing in the URL. Now the data has been transferred as an encrypted form and the information is hidden from the world, and the post method is recommended when we doesn't want to show the information to the world. And this is all for this lecture. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.